IHG points are some of the most disrespected points in travel. When people think hotel credit card strategies, they either think Chase and Hyatt, or they think Marriott or Hilton and Amex. Almost nobody gives IHG a real look. But if you ask anyone in points and miles, they'll give you the same spiel. They're only worth half a cent. And look, that might be true, but that's really only half the story. Because what they don't tell you is there's a 2-card IHG strategy that, if sequenced correctly, can be the perfect primary setup for casual travelers, and honestly one of the best secondary setups for frequent travelers who already have their main program locked in. So today we're breaking down this full strategy, taking a look at both cards and what you actually get from each one, plus the bonuses, the benefits, and the status. Then we'll touch on the sequencing rules, because with Chase, that's one of the most important parts. Next, we'll look at some of the secondary strategies to get max value here out of your IHG cards. And finally, we'll break down the most important part. What are some actual trip redemptions you can make using this strategy? But before we get going, if you love this type of credit card strategy content, hit the like button and subscribe. We are so close to 500 subscribers, I can almost taste it. And if you're looking for more credit card strategies just like this, check out my rewards and return guide, linked in the description. I put everything I'm cooking up in there. All right. Let's get into things, starting with the personal half of this setup. The IHG One Rewards Premier. It's $99 a year, and the current welcome bonus is 140,000 points after 3,000 in spending in the first 3 months. Plus, if you add an authorized user in that time, you get another 10,000 points on top. So call it 150,000 points for the sign-up bonus. Now, what is that actually worth? Well, let's keep this assumption super honest here, because IHG points aren't Hyatt points. I'm using a 0.55 cent per point valuation, which is about where the points guy had them valued for a while. So that's the assumption for every number in this video. So using that 150,000 point sign-up bonus at 0.55 cents a piece, that's around $825 in value from one $99 card. Now, even based on that floor valuation, the bonus alone should pay for this card for years to come. Now, on the earnings side, this card earns 26x at IHG properties. That's 10x from the card, 10x from being a One Rewards loyalty member, and then another 6x from the status the card gives you. It also earns 5x on travel, dining, and gas, and 3x on everything else. Now, if you're newer to credit cards, these earn rates may sound great, but because IHG points are generally worth significantly less than other currencies, this really comes out to an effective 14% back at IHG properties, about 2.75% back on travel, dining, and gas, and about 1.65% back on everything else. So because the effective rate here is so low, you really shouldn't be putting any meaningful spend on these cards aside from booking your IHG properties directly. But don't worry, even though you're not spending much on the card, it still earns its keep in other ways. And the first way is that annual anniversary free night. Now, every year in your card anniversary, you get a free night award worth up to 40,000 points. And here's the most important part that so many people miss. If the hotel you want costs more than 40,000 points, you can top it off with as many points as you want from your account. There's no cap here. So this really goes from being a Holiday Inn coupon to essentially a 40,000 point discount on any property you book. So at 40,000 points per year at a 0.55 cent valuation, that's roughly $220 every single year in value, which means this benefit alone covers the $99 annual fee and then some. But that's just where the benefits start. The second perk is the status. The Premier hands you Platinum Elite just for holding onto the card. Now, normally that's a 40-night a year climb. Now, I'm not going to oversell you here and say this hotel status is the greatest in the world, because in the US, it's mostly bonus points and maybe late checkout. But internationally, there's a lot of data points to suggest that Platinum can start getting you meaningful upgrades. So if your trips do lean overseas more, this is worth probably more than it looks on paper. And if you happen to pull an extra 40 grand a year on this card, I probably wouldn't do that myself, but you do you, then they hand you diamond status on top, which is their top tier status. Now, the other benefits on this card include up to $50 a year in United Travel Bank cash, a global entry and TSA pre-check credit every 4 years, 20% off when you buy IHG points with the card, and no foreign transaction fees. Now, none of these are why you get the card, but they all help with the math, especially that $50 United Travel Bank credit. Also, with this card, you get the 4th night free on points bookings, which is an insanely powerful feature in itself, but we'll get into that in a bit. So that's the Premier Personal. $99, about $800 plus in sign-up bonus value up front, a free night that covers a fee every year and then some, and some decent perks and status, especially when traveling internationally. Now, on its own, This is already a keeper card, but it's only half the engine in this 2-card setup. Now for the second half of that engine, we got the IHG One Rewards Premier Business. And if this card sounds familiar as I go through it, that's the whole point. It's basically a clone of the personal card. Same $99 annual fee, welcome bonuses 140,000 points after 4,000 in 3 months, so 1,000 more in spend than the personal. And if you add an employee card, it's another 10,000 points on top. So you get that same 150,000 point offer. The benefits also mirror the personal card almost line for line. The only difference is 5x on a few select business categories like office supply stores and advertising. You also get that same anniversary free night award, platinum elite status, and the $50 United Travel Bank credit. The one thing it does add though is a second free night if you put 60 grand on the card. So why does this all matter if it's just a copy? Well, 2 reasons. First is the obvious one. It doubles all the main stuff. You got your 2 welcome bonuses and your 2 free night awards. Though unfortunately the travel credits for the United Travel Bank don't stack. And second, because it's a business card, it doesn't add to your 524 count. And most importantly there, Chase treats bonus eligibility on this as a completely separate product from the personal cards. This is why this entire strategy can start to become repeatable. And it's exactly where the sequencing comes in. Now, quick reality check on business credit cards. If you have any sort of side hustle like reselling, freelancing, coaching, or content creation, you likely qualify as a sole proprietor. You don't need an LLC and can apply with your own name and social security number. Just be honest on the application and try and be realistic. So that's the Premier Business, basically a full-blown copy of the personal card. But in this strategy, that's actually the most important part. Okay, so that's what these cards offer. But next is the part to make this strategy work, and that's the sequencing. And really, there's 2 things you need to know here. First is the sequencing when it comes to the personal cards. Now here, you can hold both the no annual fee Traveler and the Premier at the same time. Also, you're not eligible for the bonus on one if you receive the other in the last 24 months. That's why I normally tell people go for the Premier, because it's the better card with the better sign-up bonus, and you get the free night award. Plus you get that United Travel credit. Now the second piece to this sequencing is the important part, and that's that business credit cards are a separate product family. So the only restriction here is that you're not eligible for an IHG business card sub if you've received one already in the last 24 months. So based on all of this, here's how I'd play this. I'd go with the business card first, targeting an elevated offer there. Then after about 30 days, I'd go for the personal card. You want to apply for both of them relatively close together, so both of their 24-month clocks line up. This way that whole cycle resets at the same time. And some of the most important details here. First, that clock starts when the bonus is paid out, not when you open the card. So if you end up getting the card in January, but you finish the spend in March is when that clock actually starts for the 24 months. And second, the clock alone isn't enough. Turn a new personal bonus down the road, you can't be holding either the IHG Rewards Premier or the IHG Rewards Traveler. So what that means is the long-term sequencing should look like this. You hold both cards for over a year and you collect the anniversary free nights. Then around month 13, you downgrade the personal Premier to the no-fee Traveler and close the business card. That downgrade is a product change. Same account, no new application, no hard pull. And you keep one important benefit alive. And I'll show you why that matters in the next section. Then around month 23, you close the Traveler, wait for the clock to clear, and around month 25 or 26, you'd be eligible to run the entire play again from scratch. Both bonuses, another 300,000 points and change. All right, so the cards are open and the bonuses are earned. Now let's talk about the strategies that squeeze real value out of this setup, because this is where IHG starts sneaking up on the other programs and when it becomes actually valuable. Now the first one is a benefit I told you we'd come back to, and that's the 4th night free. Now anytime you book stays 4 or more nights entirely with points, IHG only charges you for 3. That applies automatically as long as one of these cards is linked to your IHG account, and it repeats on every single 4-night stay. So let's say you're at 8 nights, you get 2 free nights there. Now think about what this actually is. That's a 25% discount on every point stay you book. And I don't know about you, but 4-night stays for me are so much more common than 5-night stays. So that's a real plus compared to programs like Marriott and Hilton. And here's why that downgrade move matters I mentioned earlier. Even for the no annual fee Traveler card, you keep that 4th night free benefit. So for no annual fee, you still get that solid discount. Important caveat here though, it's only on points bookings for standard rooms, not points plus cash, and it doesn't stack with the anniversary free nights. Those book as their own, separate one-night reservations. Now the second strategy here is buying points, which some people may be against, but I'm all for it as long as you're doing it with purpose. Now IHG sells points at face value, or about a penny each, which you should absolutely never pay. But they do run 100% bonus sales constantly, and I mean constantly, like a few times a year at least. Now during those sales, you're paying half a cent per point. Remember, our valuation for this whole video is 0.55 cents. So if you're buying points for less than their baseline worth, which almost never happens in this hobby, you're making out. Where this becomes really powerful is if you can use those points for better than average redemptions. For example, if you can redeem these points for 0.8 cents or more, now you're getting real value from this move. Add on the 4th night free perk and you can start to see how this can really add up. Now the second strategy here in a nutshell, buy points at half a cent during a sale, book a 4-night stay, and pay for 3. Doing this, your effective cost would have dropped to about 0.375 cents per point. So if you're booking IHG properties at the average rate here, you're already making out with good value. Then if you add on some of those higher value redemptions, now we're really taking a trip for 60% off plus. And the great part about this play is you can run it every single year on demand whenever a sale lines up with a trip you're taking. You just got to be mindful that there is a cap on how many points you can buy. All right. That's the full strategy. Now let's get the scoreboard on screen to break down exactly what this looks like. So in year 1, you get the IHG Premier Business card and the Premier Personal card. We'll assume each one gives you a 150,000 point welcome offer. So that's 300,000 points earned, which is $1,650 at that 0.55 cent valuation. You also get up to $50 per year in United Travel Bank credits. But the key here is that even though you have both cards, you can't stack the United credits, so you're only going to be getting 50. Now beginning in year 2, you get your first 2 40,000 point free night awards. Call that another $440, plus another $50 in United Travel Bank credits. After your certs post, in month 13, you're going to cancel the business card and downgrade the Premier Personal to the no annual fee traveler, which should recoup some of your annual fees. Then in year 2, you're going to keep this card to hang on to that 4th night free when booking with points. Finally, once that 24-month clock from your bonuses clears, you're going to go ahead and get the Premier Business card again for the sign-up bonus, cancel the Traveler, wait 30 to 60 days, and then get the Personal Premier again. This should net you another sign-up bonus to repeat the process. So by successfully completing this strategy, you would have earned 300,000 IHG points plus 2 40,000 point free night awards, or about 380,000 points total, plus $100 in United Travel Bank credits. And you'd be doing this all for about $200. Now you could continue this process just like this, and I think you would already be coming out on top. But I think the better route is to take advantage of that 100% point sale when you can, at least once a year. Now for this, I'm assuming you purchase 200,000 IHG points on sale for $1,000 every year, and you do that for both years in the cycle. Doing this, you'd walk away with 780,000 IHG points, $100 in United Travel Bank credits, all for about $2,200. Now doing this, combined with the 4th night free benefit, this would put you in an elite points and miles strategy tier, allowing you to stay basically wherever you want. So now the real question becomes, we got these points, so what do we spend them on? Well, let's find out. So of course, this really depends on your travel habits here. If you're someone who doesn't mind budget stays, you could be looking at about 20 nights worth of points and 5 free nights using that 4th night free. So 25 total travel nights per year, assuming 40,000 points or about $220 per night. And if you travel a lot to Asia, hotels in this range are honestly nothing to sneeze at. Now for me personally, that's just not how I like to travel. I'm all about the bougiest luxury stays, so I plan to use these points as a secondary hotel program and a secondary system. What this means is I've got no problem blowing 100,000 points per night on some sick place and staying somewhere I'd normally never stay. And by the way, I'm not trying to give you some fake redemptions here. I'm just looking up the best IHG properties and the places I genuinely want to stay at, whether they're good cents per point or not. Now the beauty about this strategy is even decent redemptions on paper become good value when you're buying points and taking advantage of the 4th night free. Alright, so let's take a look at these places. The first place is a points and miles favorite, and that's the Kimpton Seafire. Taking a look at a few random dates next summer, you can book this for about 70,000 points per night. So assuming you stay 4 nights, with that 1 night free, you'd be looking at about 210,000 IHG points for the whole stay. Now the cash value here for 4 nights is $4,074.31. And quick heads up, the resorts still charge an amenity fee on those point stays, so budget a few hundred for that. I'm not gonna hide that from you. Next up is the Regent Phu Quoc in Vietnam. You can roast me in the comments if I absolutely butchered that. Now I'll be the first to admit, I've never heard of this place before researching this video, but holy smokes, this place looks sick. If I'm going to Vietnam, I'm definitely staying here for a while, but I would probably like to hit Ho Chi Minh City too. So I'm still assuming a clean 4-night stay here as well. With that assumption, the cash value of this place would be about $2,016, with the points total being 301,500. For the final one, we'd be staying at the InterContinental Willard. Here, we'd be enjoying a nice long weekend in the fall. And for this one, we got to do a 3-night stay instead of a 4 because we'd be topping up our certs. Now, since we're doing this, we won't be able to take advantage of that 4th night free perk. So the total points here would be 253,000 points with a cash rate of about $1,535. So total with this strategy, using the 2-year horizon, we're able to take 3 trips totaling about $7,625 for $2,200, giving us a discount of about 71% off the retail price. Now let me know what you think of this strategy in the comments below. Obviously I could probably do this for cheaper or get better redemptions by strategizing more with those 40,000 point certs, but I didn't want to give you guys some fake cookie cutter redemptions. I was literally picking the best places I actually wanted to go at the times I would want to go. And at the end of the day, I could be in the minority here, but really that's what this is all about for me. I don't give a crap about spending money in this hobby. I just want to travel where I want, when I want, and how I want. That's really the most important thing for me and my goals. And if I can do it for as cheap as possible too, then all the better. So let's end this where we started. Is this a primary setup or is it more of a secondary one? Well, I think if you're a casual traveler taking a trip or two a year, or you're more of a budget traveler, this could easily be your core system and your core hotel strategy play. But if you're more of a frequent traveler or someone who prefers those higher end properties, I think this could be more suited for a supplemental strategy and a secondary program to be paired with something like a Marriott, a Hilton, or a Hyatt. And look, I got no skin in the game here. This is just my honest analysis after researching and making this video. But after doing all of that, I gotta say, I'm definitely gonna be picking up at least one IHG card and probably both of these. And I'm gonna have to figure out a way to keep one of my 524 slots open. That way I can keep cycling through these cards at a minimum for the first 2 years. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.